Hi guys and welcome to ThrustZone.com. This is the TVS Ronin again, and as you can see it is out here in the open. We are riding it and we have a very good first impression of the motorcycle. And as you can see, for the very first time in real light conditions, this motorcycle does look really good. Tell me what you think about it on the comment section below. But let's begin with the design. There is no denying that the front end is fantastic. The way the headlight has been done, and the golden forks, the very retro neo style of doing a mudguard here also looks really impressive. It's got not one but two mounts, so that also makes it look really nice between those golden forks. The calipers are also golden. These alloy wheels also look really nice. And at the side profile you can see the side panel is very typical of any other TVS motorcycle, and this tank could have been better in the way it looks, but then again I think there were design limitations and size limitations. I think that's the reason why it's turned out to be like this. But when we saw it first at the launch, we were really impressed, but when we see the curves more here out in the real world, we can also see that it could have been shaped better. But it's a very large tank, a 14-liter tank, so that should help it. It helps in function over form to a very large extent, and the form is also not that bad. That is also something TVS has done, given it a carburetor cover here, which is also reminiscent of a retro old motorcycle. Block pattern tires, the alloy wheels you can see are from here. The cut unit looks really nice. Very large opening for the exhaust here. Very well done tail lamps, it looks really impressive. This fender here we're getting to see a lot, so whether you like it or not depends entirely on you. So is the entire design. I told you in the launch video how the chain case is very different, very unique, very retro looking, and retro modern looking at the same time. You have a very nice and retro looking crankcase as well. Well done. The oil cooler is here. The brown color seat, of course this is the top of the line variant, so it gets certain features and distinguishes from the base variant. The multicolor seat from the normal seat, which I'll assume will be black. This grab handle looks very basic, but again it's finished really well, painted really well, so it does the job. Tank view from the top. Even the fuel lid here is entirely new, and be it retro or modern, it is hinged, so that's a good thing to see. And here you go. This is I explained to you this in our launch video and on our website as well. That is how the meter starts. This is a full detailed aspect of the instrument cluster. As you can see, those buttons are down here for the mode and set, and as you can see it's written there, so very nicely integrated. As always, TVS does a very good job in that aspect, getting a lot of things right. And I really want to show you how this is done here. It looks really nice. The mounting is so clean and crisp. Everything fit, finish, build quality spot on. I think this is one of the most highest quality motorcycles that has come out from the TVS. It looks really good. I can't find anything wrong with this in any area, and there might be one or two which I'll miss in this very first impression, but 97% is all good. On this top end variant you get adjustable levers on both ends, which is also segment first. Riding mode button is here for the ABS, so as you can see it's here. This button also helps you use the navigation and the connectivity features that are on offer. And yeah, that's the instrument cluster. It has everything you need: a gear shift indicator, odometer, time, fuel gauge, and you've also got distance to empty, 2 trip meters, average speed, so lot of features. And then there is connectivity on offer as well. Look at this key, looks really nice. It's got the T thing going on here as well, apart from the tail lamp, which also looks really nice. LED lights, how are they in the day or in the night? I can't tell you right now. First impressions, and obviously we've not ridden it in the day. Very good in the way it looks. Lot of detailing. That's the monoshock down there. You've got a very large bash plate sort of here, and which signifies the fact that it is ready for a slight amount of trail riding. But let's get on to the road riding part and the riding part in general and tell you what it is all about. So we are finally out riding the TVS Ronin, and our first impressions of the motorcycle are here, and they are truly positive because TVS has worked really hard to make sure that this riding experience is tailored as always to perfection, because right from the gearing to the engine to the refinement to the sound and to the power delivery, everything is just sorted out. We can't really fault this powertrain because it's a very smooth engine, it's a very refined engine, and it makes 20 PS of power and almost 20 Newton meters of torque from its engine. Despite the bore capacity has gone up from 200cc to 225cc, we are assuming and we are very likely right to be this is the Apache engine. Sadly, it's not making power and torque more than 20 PS and 20 Newton meters, so I think that's the only downside. But then again, this sort of motorcycle does not really require a lot of horsepower and torque because this is not an Apache, this is the Ronin, and this is a scrambler layout along with a newer retro design. So the customer not really wants outright performance, they can do that with the Apache, and I'm sure TVS is also doing something with the Apache in the future with this engine maybe, and the only thing it would be needing is more horsepower from this bored out engine. But the gearing here is spot on. It's neither too tall like the Honda CB350 RS, nor it is very short like any of its Royal Enfield or Java rivals. The gearing is spot on, and despite that, the power delivery is very good. Low end and mid range torque is excellent. Even the top end is quite good. We found the motor to be pulling after 70 kilometers an hour also quite well on even small roads or big roads or open roads, because the capacity is helping it, along with the perfect gearing and the well-tailored power band is helping it make sure that there is power and torque everywhere, and getting the gearing right along with that is a matter of serious attention to detail that TVS has given to this engine. Needless to say, refinement is quite good. Our drive was good enough in Goa to understand the motorcycle to a certain extent, but we will obviously have to road test it to make understand more and put it on a more open highway here in Maharashtra, because the Goan roads didn't really help us push the motorcycle quite hard. But like I said, we have a very solid impression of what the bike is like. Long journeys, how is it going to be like is the only thing we can't tell you right now, but for the city ride, it's fantastic. It's got upside down forks, 41 upside down forks from Showa, so that is a very high quality suspension component that you're getting, along with knobbly tires from TVS Remora, which have been tweaked further from the factory setup to make sure that it suits the Ronin's need, and it does, because we were really surprised in how it was coping up with really cold, greasy, wet roads while cornering, and there was a lot of grip on offer. We had some serious twisty roads for us to play around with. There were blind corner turns and everything, and the motorcycle just leaned in so perfectly and so confidently. It just blew us away. Like, it's doing so good in this wet, appalling weather that how good is it going to be on dry roads? So it's fantastic. The lean also happens very quickly. The side to side transitions also feel confident and light at the same time, and what else can we tell you about is the fact that counter steering this motorcycle is when you do that, you realize that how agile this motorcycle is. At the same time, it's very nimble in the city. Of course, the rake, it is quite raked out, it's quite physically visible as well, but once you start riding it, you will see it even more, that how the raked out front end also means that it gets very good stability on the highway. There were certain patches where we could maintain 100 and do 100 and go sustain 80-90 for quite some time, and we were able to do that with a lot of confidence. Confidence also comes down to the brakes, and we were getting very good lever bite at the front and at the back. There was a lot of progressive power also from the brakes. So initial bite, progressive power, and very good performance from the brakes are on offer. It gets a single channel ABS, of course, because of the pricing issues, because this motorcycle could have been priced quite higher if it got dual channel ABS. But everything is impressing. As you can see, the brakes are good, the tires are good, the suspension is good, the ride quality over our roads is good. Of course, for even with my weight, surprisingly this time the ride quality felt quite stiff. It's over a really bad certain the section of road where there was elevation, and then it went down again along a turn, where we realized that the stability from the chassis is also excellent. So even normal guys with normal weight can also realize the fact that this chassis is really well tuned. It's got a lot of stability with their weight on, so they won't have to, you know, quite clearly tweak the suspension a lot. For most guys, factory setup is going to feel downright brilliant, and that doesn't happen every day. So kudos to TVS for getting things right in so many ways. I think that's a lot of feedback taken from us and the journalists that has made the TVS Ronin a motorcycle which is very hard to criticize. Other practicality bits and long journey distance also should be good. The ergonomics are already quite impressive. Of course, the foot pegs, you know, everybody would say that the scrambler sort of setup deserves foot pegs at the center instead of being slightly forward cant. But then again, I saw myself slightly canting ahead, grabbing the tank, and you know, it will do a good job. And the more fitter you are, if I can do it, you can also definitely do it. But foot pegs in the middle would have been ideal is the only criticism that we can come across. Everything else is really impressive. We can't wait to put it to the practicality test and the long distance test when we get our hands back on it. Right now our impressions are really solid, and kudos to TVS to getting things right at this level, because this clearly sets a benchmark with the pricing, with the merchandise, with the accessories, with the way it looks, and how accessible it is thanks to its ergonomics. TVS Ronin is definitely going to find a lot of garages than TVS expects it to be, and I hope they can meet with demand, because this will take you know, a test ride and a review to understand how good it is, and that will immediately help buyers to buy it you know, at one go. I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching our video. Make sure you like, share, and follow us on our website and social media for everyday updates. And I'll see you next time in the next video. Until then, goodbye.